Yo, what's going on, TeamPokeColors family? Welcome back to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon card deals of the week, specifically cards that are frequently getting bought out for astronomical prices, and how you can actually get your hands on some of these cards for the previous retail price, or at least a lot cheaper than what TCG Player says it's worth. So without further ado, please, if you're new, hit the subscribe down below, and if you enjoy, press a like on this video. So without further ado, let's get right into today's video. Alright, so don't mind the background. Obviously, you know I've been moving stuff, and we're about there. Counting down the days at this point, but I want to show you guys some of the recent pickups I got, and if you follow me on X/Twitter, you would have already seen these. But since I made a video about these trainer galleries and alternate arts that have been bought out last, whatever, in the last week, I guess, these are my recent pickups. So we got ourselves a Garchomp V trainer gallery from Astro Radiance, super cool card there, and a Starmie V, both of which of these I've never pulled. I've never purchased it up until this point because I do actually have a master set trainer gallery binder that I'm trying to work towards and complete. So, these cards have been on my to buy list for a long time, and after seeing some of the prices of other cards, I scooped these up luckily just before the buyouts started happening on these ones. And I'll talk about these here in a moment. Beedrill V, another funny one, a $15 card. Now, according to TCG Player, sitting at like $40-50 bucks, with sales as high as $80-90. Unreal. And this one is another super cool, underrated alternate art in my personal opinion. I just love the colors on this, and surprisingly, there's some Pokemon cameos in here. If you can kind of see, we got a Clobbopus there, we got Barrascuda, I think there, we got a Cramorant here. Some other bird type Pokemon up at the top there, and yeah, I don't know if there's anybody else on here, but very like Glaceon VMAX, oh my gosh, very Glaceon VMAX-esque style type of artwork here. So I wanted to pull this from Battle Styles myself, but never did, so finally got it for a decent price. And furthermore, I have all these other cards that have been bought out recently, and most of these I didn't own most of these like a month and a half ago. Like, once I noticed that some of these cards were getting bought out, like, I think I started my purchasing with the Palkia Dialga Origin Forms alternate arts, because those two are my super favorite. Like, I don't know, I just started picking up favorites, and then ended up getting more and more and more of other cards that I've always wanted or have had in the past that I had sold off and I wanted to buy again, try to beat the buyouts. So how can you, and that's the point of today's video, how can you get these cards without dropping $1,000 basically? Like, if all these, if this Rayquaza hits $100, like, that's $100. If you want multiple copies, there's 200. Pikachu VMAX could hit $300, you never know. Like, these cards are just being super hot. I mean, they're just hot right now. That's the only way I can put it. They're hot, so more people are buying into them, buying into the FOMO like myself. But hey, I don't care. I wanted these cards at some point, and once I see the price start going up, I'm like, all right, hey, I'm gonna get a couple of these. So yeah, a lot of these alt arts I was able to purchase from eBay, or I was fortunate enough to pull, like this one here, and pulled the Sandaconda V way back. Where is it? Oh yeah, right here. It's like Sandaconda V is to like $3-4 bucks, maybe 5-6, going up towards 10 because people are buying it up because it's like the cheapest alt right now. But Genesect, $30 alt art for the longest time. Probably not sure on prices, honestly, guys. It's not about that because they change so much, and I take the time to put them in this video, and then you watch this video like a week from now, then the prices are pretty much irrelevant. So, or even the day of, they could be irrelevant. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tell you how you can get these cards for cheap. And not cheap, like, $3 cheap, or $15 cheap, maybe, or like $12 cheap, or not even like $26 cheap, but maybe like $30 cheap, you know what I'm saying? So step number one, check eBay. eBay is going to be your best friend here. A lot of people on eBay don't actively follow TCG Player prices. They, like, when you go to eBay, for those of you who don't know, I sell on eBay sometimes, and it will recommend prices to you to list it at based on what it has sold for recently on eBay. So if you have one like crazy outlier on eBay, it'll be like, yeah, I mean, it'll be like, it won't affect the sale price pretty much. Not as much as it would on TCG Player. Like TCG Player, you go there and there's like 3 cards, 2 cards maybe. If those 2 get bought at a higher price than the entire average within the last 28 days, skyrockets up. You know, they calculate it differently, I think, than eBay does. But at this point, TCG Player, if you're going to buy anything from there, you might as well just go for like commons, uncommons, or other cards that aren't being bought out, like illustration rares, or, you know, more modern cards that aren't alternate art worthy, I guess. But if you want to get alternate arts, or even the alternate art-esque trainer galleries like these 2 here, like TCG Player I saw this morning had one of this card, like this card here on TCG Player, sold for $100. $100, dude, that is absurd. Not sure if there's been any price movements on this guy. I haven't looked, but if you see anything you like and you're like, dang, I should really pick that card up now might be the chance before it hits a complete buyout. Because if you go to, you know, eBay and find sort by, you ideally want to sort by newly listed, buy it now, because if it's cheaper, somebody might try, like if somebody's trying to actually sell a Rayquaza for $50, they might post it right away at like 40, trying to sell it, make a quick buck. But you just have to compare that to whatever else is on, you know, the sales section, I guess. Like you go to the buy it now section, filter on eBay, and lowest price plus shipping, and then buy it now is going to be your probably best friend. Be watchful. I kind of got screwed. I ordered a drill from a seller who had literally no feedback, and I ordered a second one because I'm like, I'm moving, dude. I'm not going to be able to get a drill in, so I'm not sure if I'm getting a second drill, and if I am, then great, but it's not going to be sent to my actual address because the dude's probably not going to ship, and it's, you know, it could be a shady seller anyways. So make sure if you're buying a cheaper alt art or a cheaper card that you know is going for more on TCG Player, make sure that you check to verify that it's not a new seller. Like, make sure they have some sales. Otherwise, you're going to be like me and be waiting in limbo forever. And I even asked eBay to cancel my order, and they said, nope, can't do it. I'm like, okay, great. So yeah, kind of just waiting to see what happens at this point with that. But one card in particular I want to share about that I got a really good deal on. And I know most of you probably have heard me say this before, but, you know, in this case for buying cards, like these 2 here, let me pull it up here. So for those who are familiar, Whatnot has like a marketplace, and people can post cards kind of like eBay for sale on Whatnot, and then you can buy through Whatnot. These 2 cards I picked up way below what TCG Player market price value said they were worth. And even eBay sold listings, dude. Like, eBay sold listings, when I checked, had this card right here, Starmie V, selling for $50. And I'm like, that's absurd. And going to TCG Player, it was kind of, you know, 40, 45, 50, same price range. I go to Whatnot, find some dude selling it randomly, like just some random guy, I don't know who it is, but they posted it for sale for $35. So I got this $35, I think, plus shipping tax, so it's kind of the same, but I don't know, I don't recall, but I only paid $35. So a lot better than 50, because you go to eBay, pay 50, then you get to deal with tax and shipping, then you're looking like 55, 60 bucks almost at that point. So pretty much half price I got on this one. And same thing going for this. I know I did pick this up before the whole buyout happened, so I won't say that it's, you know, a third of the price I paid for what market price is, because I haven't checked. But if it's selling for $100 on eBay, or sorry, on TCG Player at least once, then paying, you know, 30 bucks for this was a pretty good deal. So Whatnot marketplace, you could do that as well, or you could hit up somebody's live stream and ask them about cards that they might have like in the background or in the buy it now section. Most people are just trying to sell cards on there anyways. They don't really care so much about getting full price for them, especially if they're being like completely, you know, price gouged. This same seller, funny enough, had a Umbreon VMAX, and when I was asking him about what the price was, he was like, oh, 25 bucks. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy has no idea this card's worth like $80 now because of the price hikes. And he almost sold it to me, but you know, after he double checked, he's like, oh, I didn't realize I should have checked before. I'm like, crap. Well, and then I saw this back there. I'm like, I want that card too. I've been wanting to get this for a long time, so I asked him about it, and you know, market price was like 55, 60 bucks near mint, and centering's not the greatest, so it's whatever. I don't really care that much, but I got it for 50 bucks, and I'm like, hey, that's a good deal, because this is one that I would expect to be one that could, you know, be bought out any day, any moment now, if it hasn't already. And then as for these other ones, the other place you can check is local card shops, specifically ones that that you know mark cards for certain price values. Like I'll speak to this one, one of these, and Regidrago. I think all these other ones, maybe the Unknown V. Actually, no, not the Unknown V. I got that at regionals. But these three cards right here, I purchased a couple weeks ago from my local card shop, and they had on the back, or on the, you know, the card sleeve that was on the front, they had like, you know, dash with the dollar amount. So like these were already priced out, and for them to have to go through, check every single card that's priced out every single day, and you know, if they have a huge selection, they're not going to feasibly be able to do that. This card shop in particular has like maybe 2 or 3 people that run the Pokemon area, so you could tell that these prices were obviously outdated, because I got this Origin Form Palkia V for like 36 bucks. And even at that time, it was going for $50 from TCG Player value and eBay value. So I was super pumped to be able to pick up a second copy for a dirt cheap price. And then these three aren't super desirable alts, but they were ones that I wanted to get because I've always, you know, I like alts, and can't beat a cheap alt, especially if you got a Lugia cameo and the Regidrago V1 here. But you know, this was like 16 bucks. This was like 8 bucks. This was like, you know, 10 or 5 or so, I don't know, something super crazy. So I got all of these because they're, you know, marked as is. And when you find those deals, they usually honor that. So like they're not going to have it marked at like 36 and you take it up to the register and it's like, oh, this card's been market manipulated to $120, but we have it marked at 36, so I'm gonna have to charge you 130. Like, they're not gonna probably do that unless they're real scummy, and then at that point I wouldn't even tell you to go there and shop ever again, because I mean, you know, that's buyer manipulation at that point. So if you find a card shop that has, you know, a card section with individually marked cards, you know, whether, you know, like little tags, little for sale tags on them, that's how it was at regionals too, man. I picked up literally 2 Rayquazas from regionals because they were like individually priced, and I got one for like 26 bucks. That was like almost $14 cheaper than market at the time, and then I got one for like $32, which was still cheaper. And like I said, most of those vendors, or even card shops in this case, are just trying to sell stuff. Especially on Whatnot. Like, Whatnot might be our best friend from here on out, at least until TCG Player / whatever is, you know, behind that gets their stuff figured out. But hopefully this video helped you in some way, shape, or form. I honestly didn't buy any of these from TCG Player, so there's plenty of ways to get alternate arts and trainer galleries that you've been wanting for cheap without breaking the bank. Because, you know, if I were to pay TCG Player prices for all these at the time of purchase, dude, I'd be in the hole by like $300, $400 most likely, which is crazy. So let me know what you think. I know we figured April would be the buyout month, and here we are almost halfway through May already, and it's still happening. So what's next? What's to come? I have some thoughts. Tune in next video, or maybe the next one, because I'm not sure what videos I have scheduled while I'm moving. But dude, I got some insider knowledge based on what I've seen so far, and they're going to run out of alternate arts and trainer galleries at some point, right? So what's the next thing? And that will be in a future video. So if that piques your interest, press a like on this video, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any of the future uploads, because what are you doing? I bring you guys the latest and the hottest info literally before some of the bigger YouTubers, because, you know, I got some people in the community that help me out and inspire me to make these calls with honestly weeks sometimes before they even happen. So if you're a part of the TPC family, you're generally going to be winning in the end of the day. Obviously, I can't keep up with everything, but I got a pretty good sense of what's going on with the majority. So tune in next time or next week for Pokemon card deals of the week, where I'll actually give you guys some physical cards that you could go buy, assuming the buyouts and the manipulation hasn't reached that card type yet. I don't think it will. It's got some more alternate arts and trainer galleries to hit. But yeah, have a great day. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.